I started Loftis Partners 5 years ago with this dream of combining the work I've done in the last 30 years around human resources with also walking alongside organizations and people as they try to create workplaces where humans are valued, which I can say is even more important in this day and age. Could probably talk for hours about how my business has evolved in the last 5 years, but I will kind of point out three things. One is that I had so many ideas of interventions and things I could do with businesses. But what I realized, especially starting in 2020, is that people were in places of fear and uncertainty. And so, what I needed to do was kind of meet people where they were. And that may not look like what I thought should look like at first, but it's really kind of listening to my clients. I think second is that human resources has evolved so much just in the last 5 years between um, remote and hybrid workplaces, people being just scattered all over the country and how that's affected compensation. And then, of course, the onslaught of AI. And then, kind of the third thing is really trying to lean in about listening to clients. The presenting problem is typically never the problem. And what I'm finding is that clients just need help just kind of with some of the micro steps first before we do the major work. So I've had to kind of evolve my offerings to meet that. Can I say two memories? I'm going to go ahead and say one, just the amazing people I've gotten to work with over the last 5 years with my clients, the conversations we've had, the relationships we've built. I think that's one of the things I love about consulting is the different clients I get to work with and it not being the same all the time. I think the second one, and probably the biggest one, is writing a book. I wrote the Pay Equity Guide for Nonprofit Organizations, released in 2024, and that was based on work that I started in 2018 on a thesis for master's school that pulled all the way through getting to work with clients around pay equity and then sharing those lessons learned. This is such a hard question because I feel like we're in like this really tumultuous and changing time. So how do I predict 5 years out from now? Especially when I tell clients right now that really you need to plan 18 to 24 months out rather than 5 years. So I'm going to try and I'm going to say a few things. One is that no matter what happens, I want to lead with curiosity, compassion, solidarity, and reflection. Continuing to create that pause because as the world becomes faster, those pauses before we react become even more important. I think the second thing is really just trying to understand how AI is going to change consulting and change HR. I certainly use AI. I plan on kind of deepening into that. So that's another piece. And then kind of the final thing is really leaning into coaching. I'd like to get my coaching certification. And I really enjoy kind of like leadership coaching, like tactical, let's get into your leadership team meetings and have those conversations. So I hope I can expand that business in the future.